Hi, this is Josh, and this is video number 4 for African Safari video series. And today we're going to be talking about two topics, and that is visas and vaccinations. Now, before you plan on taking a trip or going anywhere as far as Africa is concerned, try and make sure that you have a visa. Most countries will require you to have a visa, so I would recommend to you that you actually do your research and make sure that that country or the country you plan to go to requires you to have a visa or doesn't. Some countries have relationships with other countries, so for example, if your country is part of the Commonwealth or something like that, then you might be able to do away with the visa, but your passport will still be required in order for you to get into the country. So let's do a quick run here on how to check, for example, what requirements are needed or how to get a visa. And especially, for example, if you're located let's say in England or in the United States, usually the country you're interested in they will have a consulate in your country. So for example, I'm located in the United States, and let's say for example I'm interested in going to Namibia, so I would go and search for Namibia Consulate USA, and then as soon as I do that, then I'll get this here on the first page, Embassy of the Republic of Namibia, and as says USA.org, and then on here then it gives me basically the location, the email, numbers, hours, everything, so you can contact them and find out all the information you need as far as your trip is concerned. Now, in order to find out the requirements for the visas and as far as how much it costs and all those questions, possibly let's see you go to consular services, and then right here you'll see it says visa requirements. Do I need a visa? Visa requirements. So let's go to visa requirements, and we can see here it gives us all the fees that we need. So single entry, 3 months validity, 2 days processing is $50 US, multiple entry is $100. So basically all you have to do is search for the embassy within your country. So if you're in Albania, you just type Namibia Consulate Albania, or if you're in England, it's Namibia Consulate England. Now that should do it for this part. Now the second part I wanted to talk to you about is basically vaccinations. Now with vaccinations, most countries in Africa actually require you to get vaccinations, and some parts of them require you to even have more specific ones. So one of the best things to do is to do some research yourself and either go to the consulate embassy too, and then research there and see if you can find what they require you in terms of like vaccinations. And other ones are basically general vaccinations that most countries require you to have. So basically, let me give you the 4 vaccinations you should try and get when planning to go to Africa or any other country, and that is yellow fever is the first one. Number 2 is diphtheria. Number 3 is typhoid, and the last one is hepatitis A. Now with these 4, generally all countries will require you to get these shots or vaccinations, but double check and make sure that other specific countries might require more, or might require you to have even proof that you have these shots. So most places, if you go to clinics or health centers, they'll give you some piece of document or certification that shows you that you have these, and you'll be required to present these at the airport when you're actually stamping your passport or stamping your visa to get into the country. Oh, and one more thing about your visa: when you go, you have 2 options, and I suggest that you do this with the consulate in your country. You can always get a visa when you get to the airport of the country you're interested in, but the problem with that is you might end up waiting in line for a very long time to get that. Whereas if you get it to the consulate in your country, you basically send in your passport, they stamp it, they charge you probably the $50. Most countries charge $50, and then they'll mail it back to you. That way you can avoid the whole line and then basically go to the international terminal or the international section and just get your passport stamped. So I hope those two categories and those two topics were helpful to you, and we'll see you on the next video. Alright, bye.